Glory is...
Almost got me that time.
You're not trying to escape, are you?
Nice try. Glory is...
Meet your maker.
It all happened like I knew it would. A single drop of source magic. And, like flies to honey, the monsters swarmed. The rebel panicked. The carnage began. And the Magisters pointed their fingers at me. Just as I'd planned. I was shackled and collared, and sent to Fort Joy. I'd come here to kill Godwoken. But instead I became part of their story.
So, still a bit groggy, are we? Don't worry, the sedative will wear off soon enough. Easy now. No need to hurry. Get your bearings and report to me upstairs.
So, it wasn't a dream after all. An animal sty. Freight or food?
Shaking her fluffy coat, the sheep eyes you balefully, her rectangular eyes like letterboxes to the void. With one sharp hoof, she kicks you right in the shin. Did you expect a needle? Did you expect a needle?
Rubbish. Not a very chatty fellow, are you? This again? I don't even remember them strapping me down.
You there. Come here. Hey. Hey. Get me out of this cage and I'll make it worth your while. You in? Your guess is as good as mine. Someone screamed loud as a banshee. After that, pure pandemonium. They never even told me what I was accused of. Just dragged me down here. A gentlewoman among jesters, you are. Give that lever a pull, and I guarantee we'll both get something out of the deal. Set me free, and I'll set you free. A fair trade, I should think.
Before you can even touch the lever, you hear a sniff and snort behind you as the snoring Magister mumbles himself awake. One bloodshot eye opens, and then another.
Is my shift over? Are you here to relieve me? Wait, you're no magister. You're a sorcerer. What are you doing here, filthy scrounger? Choose your words carefully. My fists ached.
The Magister considers you, shrugs, and curls his hands into fists.
You're honest, I'll give you that. Doesn't mean I'll be letting you go scot-free, though. I should have known there'd be trouble.
The prisoner's buoyant voice darkens as his eyes rest on yours.
Ah, freedom. Tastes better than wine. I'm nothing if not a man of my word. And I did give my word I'd set you free, lass. Say your prayers while you've breath to speak them. The halls await.
What would he have to gain by killing me? I need to keep my guard up.
Empty.
the most elegant solution, was it? And I'm back where I started. Nowhere to go but up.
Empty.
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
My, these smelling salts are strong stuff. There you are. Not too tight, I hope. The collar, I mean. Oh, not to worry. Every dog has to get used to its leash. In the meantime, your next stop will be Magister William. All passengers have to be registered in the ship's manifest, and he's the chap in charge of the logs. You'll find him on the other side of this deck, in the officers' quarters. Is he? Oh well. Some problems simply sort themselves, don't they?
No marks, no indications of a struggle.
She frowns and peers at you closely, resting the back of one hand on your forehead and taking your pulse with the other.
Delusions such as these are rare, but not unheard of. I recommend a cup of mulled wine and another night's sleep. Just take it easy. Oh dear, I'm afraid you're a long way from home, milady. A long way from the little bells that make a footman come a-running.
Index fingers pressed to her lips, she pauses a moment to give you a scrutinizing gander.
My word, you do seem a bit befuddled, don't you? Perhaps I was a bit too generous with that sedative. Oh, well, I'm sure you'll soon gather your wits. Most likely. Eventually. In the meantime, all you need to know is that we're en route to Fort Joy. A new life awaits, and if you're a particularly good girl, perhaps a cure as well. An end to Sauce. For good.
Good God. There's been a murder here.
Ugly sight, isn't it? Burns me up this happened under our protection. We're extremely lucky no Voidwalker followed the source that did this.
She looks up at you with a mirthless smile.
I was on duty in your room when the murder happened. You were asleep the whole time. Didn't even stir. You're one of the only indisputably innocent people on the ship. Unless you can commit murder in your sleep, of course. I thought as much. Listen, I could use someone to keep their ears open among the passengers. Sometimes they clam up in front of a uniform. Bring me a good lead, and I'll throw in a shiny gold coin for you. How about that? Think about it. It's one of you who got killed, not one of us. We want to find who did it and bring them to justice. Who's your real enemy here? You let me know if you hear anything. Whoever did this is dangerous.
Come on, please, Lothar.
That's enough now. Oh, There you are, wife. Would you please tell this very charming gaggle of not-at-all brat-like faves that I am by no accounts this Losa woman, nor do I sing, in fact. I'm deathly allergical. How very correct you are, spouse of mine. Madame Josephine Gribbles de Peeb refuses to be confused with anyone else. What? What's so funny?
Her pinched face cracks into a great grin, and she shoos the children away from her with a laugh.
Yeah, okay, you found me out. Go on and git, and maybe I'll sing you something when I'm good and ready.
She turns to you, dark-eyed and dirty-haired, and smiles flatly.
Gotta keep ourselves entertained, haven't we? You'd presume right. Nope, trying not to find anything out either. Ignorance is bliss. The utterer, the better. Thanks, but I already belong to an elite and exclusive ship gang. We play ball every day after lunch. You're too soft for it. You take care, though.
Suddenly, her eyes cloud to an unnatural black. Greyish veins run down her face, and her mouth tightens into a cruel sneer. As quickly as they came, the clouds clear. She smiles as though no change came over her.
Good luck, Chief.
Quiet long enough for me to listen. That right. I always knew you'd turn out rotten, Ben Mist.
The elf is reading a volume of Cranley Hubert's famous encyclopedia. He looks up, his big round eyes scanning your body, absorbing every detail. He reaches out and takes your hand, turning it this way and that, examining it from every angle.
Fascinating.
He sits back and returns to his book, flicking quickly from page to page, completely oblivious to your presence.
What purpose did that serve? Was that a greeting? Was it... Oh dear. I seem to have crossed some cultural taboo. How... You have my apologies. Perhaps I should demand the same from those red-cloaked humans. They laid their hands on me more than once. Ah, yes. The niceties. My name is Fane. I am a scholar from... It is pleasurable to meet you. Hardly. I've been reading this one for several minutes and I have yet to... It is simultaneously too detailed and insufficient. I know the beginning of this tale and the end, but I am rather missing the middle. Tell me, what do you know of our world's history?
I've seen more appetizing things coming out of plague-stricken pigs.
Oh, please. I have no interest in that. Your books are too full of it already. No. I want to know about the Celestial. I want to know about your gods. This text tells me that they created all creatures, but nothing of what came before. Where did these gods come from? Who are their people? Where are the others of their kind? Of course you don't have any use. Now please, run along. I have a world to decipher.
Here's the register, ma'am. Good. Magister Williams has just about done with the last passenger. You faring okay so far? Course I do. Seems Voidwalk can dog your heels like a shadow. That's no way to live, is it? You'll see. We're gonna help you.
There's nothing else I can
You head on in now. Williams will get you sorted fast.
Unacceptable. I've never dined on anything less than a dozen...
Standing at the center of the room, you spot a sorcerer haughtily eyeing a pair of nervous-looking magisters. They keep their crossbow trained upon her as she's being interrogated by an officer.
So you admit it then? You murdered that poor fella?
Yes, I did. But of course, that was only the beginning.
She turns her head and looks you straight in the eye.
There are others whose lives must end.
Good God, the woman's mad. You there, sorcerer, go and fetch Magister Siwan. We need to do more than collar this maniac. We need to shackle her, hands and feet.
No, I'm afraid I always perform my part solo. Do stay and watch, though, because...
She reaches for her collar and simply removes it.
I'm just about to create a scene.
Subdue her, men, quickly! If she casts source, the Voidwoken will come. They'll end us all.
She smiles with wicked satisfaction.
Precisely.
What's happened?
What happened? Must have been the turnips. Water? Wine, for goodness sake. Oh.
The lizard's eyes close as he... The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor. His... Ifan lies motionless, curled on the ground like an animal. His eyes flicker open, but...
Lucien. Lucien.
Ifan cries out, then his eyes fall closed again.
The hatch is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
The Magister lies on the floor,
Is blocked. I'll need to find another way.
The dwarf lies in a heap on the floor, his great beard twisted and tangled around him.
God damn it! Need to get off this wreck, and quick! Not long before this thing snaps into splinters. Damn! That doesn't bode well. Onwards and upwards.
You pass through the door and are suddenly face to face with an undead. His skull is bizarrely the skeleton is quickly leafing through a volume of Cranley Hubert's...
No! What it catches fire, it turns into must when wet, it cannot even resist...
The skeleton looks up at...
Oh, it's you. Shouldn't you be running and screaming or some such?
The skeleton groans and looks back to his book.
I know your god did not gift you with much, but kindly use the... Do you look at me and think, why yes, there is someone with organ... No, damp robes are the most I have to fear. Once this glorified skiff hits the sea... Whereas you, I believe, have lifeboats to pointlessly squabble over. I believe you did. Although I was wearing the face of an elf at the time. I had a mask, rather ingeniously designed. A mask that was stolen by that damn... Still, she'll drown with the rest of these fools. And I will simply pluck my mask from her cold, dead hands. Remember, one of your race's weaknesses is having your lungs filled with water until you can no longer breathe.
The skeleton resumes his search, leafing through page after page, while...
Great God! Something's pounding on the hull!
The marking on the door was painted recently. Judging from its pungence, you press your palm against the door to open it. The wood feels neither cold nor warm, but simply it doesn't budge. The door groans open, but an ashen shadow clouds your mind.
I need to get out of here now! A lifeboat! That means there's still a chance.
Shut your trap, kid. Children and dwarves first, just like the old stories say.
The dwarf yanks at one of the nearby ropes to no avail.
You said there were other people down there. We need to help them.
You see those tentacles, kid? It's time to get the hell out of here.
But wait! There's still people down there.
As the boat rocks downward, a prayer to Lucian you once heard passes through your mind. The law of life from divine within saved me from death and the shackles of sin. You clench your eyes and brace for impact.
I have plans for you, child. Rise.
Honorable Dallas, we lost a ship sailing sorcerer prisoners to Fort Joy. We assume some escaped and broke their collars. Their vile magic lured the Voidwoken. All who were aboard are presumed dead. Yours faithfully into eternity, High Judge Oriven.
Those Voidwoken made short bloody work of the ship. Am I the lone survivor? It seems someone, something, wanted me alive. The Order would get rid of any trace of the old Source King.
The child has a small mirror in his hands. He holds it up at angles, inspecting.
I'm not supposed to talk to strangers. Why? I guess. Well, the people who put me here are you a sorcerer? One of those guys that brings the bad void things here?
The child looks at you straight on, unafraid, searching your face. He lifts his mirror to his nose.
I don't see any source on you or me. I guess they're wrong or crazy. Maybe you're right. At least they don't mind where anyone goes. They know we can't leave the island, but it's a lot nicer out here than outside. They're gone now. The Magisters took them already. I guess now they're cured. And maybe...
You spot a strange lizard gazing over the water with a steady, malcontent stare. His skin is of a bright blood-red colour. Never before have you seen a lizard such as this. The lizard turns about with the graceful ease of a dancer, or a duelist. You lock...
Pleased to make my acquaintance, are you? I see your short-term memory fails you where mine does not. Why, only a few hours ago, I saw you skulk about that ship like a lost child, but you weren't a lost child, were you? Word has reached me, you see, through a very sour grapevine indeed, that you turned your back on your fellow passengers. Left us to fend for ourselves. So much easier, isn't it, to look out for oneself alone? Of course I did. Takes more than some oversized cuttlefish to get the better of me. Besides, you'll find I wasn't complaining. I was making a point. About oneself. Alone. So, if there's nothing further... Out of the mouths of babes. A couple of children survived the ordeal with their tattletale. I'm sure I don't mean to sound condescending, but I had thought it quite self-evident I was gazing out over the waves.
He sighs dramatically.
Tell me, what do you see when you cast your glance over this ocean? Touché.
He looks out over the water once more, and so do you. A few tranquil moments pass as the waves lap against your thoughts.
As for myself, when I consider this vast expanse before us, I see an empire. I see continents dotted with mighty cities. And shimmering along the soft curve of the sea's horizon, I picture the palaces that formed my paradise. Lost. What do you mean, what do I mean? I mean just what I say. I had a very actual empire that I lost.
Suddenly, having all the air of being deeply offended, he stares at you with utter incredulity.
Well, don't just stand there gawking like an ape at an abacus. Or do you really mean to tell me you don't know who I am? The very same. I am the Red Prince, the All-Conqueror, the World-Tamer, the Spouse of the Sun. Of course you know me.
There's a brief moment's pause, during which his grandiloquent pose deflates ever so slightly.
That said, I suppose I must own up to the fact that I find myself rather in between all-conquering and world-taming opportunities at the moment. The grandeur that is my fate has hit a bit of a snag. But never you worry. For the throne I was destined and my throne I shall have. Truly, a kind offer indeed. Even if it comes from the very person that left me and others to rot on a sinking ship. You do look able, though. Despite your selfish tendencies. Tendencies to which I'm no stranger, truth be told. Fine, I accept. On one condition. For reasons I'll not disclose right now, it is imperative. I've reason to believe one of them may be present on this island. Promise me we'll look jolly good. So, now that that's settled, first thing, even if you are as versed in the art of eloquence as I am, that our swords will be doing a lot of the talking from here on out goes without saying. As a born fighter, I prefer the perfection of the blade myself. But I'm well acquainted with the secrets of magic, and yes, even subterfuge. What say you? Finesse is a condition one should assume in any situation, from dining to discourse to dueling. What situations do you have in mind? Very well. Onwards, then, to victory or death.
The Red Prince nods and gives you a smile that wavers ever so delicately between courtesy and contempt.
Now, as you're aware, you'll be travelling with a prince. Proper forms of address include Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, or if you're feeling particularly frivolous, Milord. As your luck would have it, I seem to be fresh out of luggage, so you won't be... Of course, there are other forms of protocol to bear in mind, but I'll see to it.
Black cat. Hello, kitty.
The cat's eyes are clouded and grey, its eyes clear.
One, two, long dead of the crew. Three. Hey, lady. It's a lot nicer here than that stink. Sure wish you'd gone back, though. I did see one of them wringing out their tunic at the shore.
Stay back, sorcerer, and stay silent. Our Godwoken speaks.
We know you've been helping sorcerers escape, Atusa.
I'd sooner cut my tongue out than lie to you, Alexander. I know nothing of any escapees.
If you can tell the Godwoken no more, your tongue is of no use. Cut it out.
This can't be serious, Alexander. Come.
You should know by now to obey your superior, Magister, whatever she may ask.
Atusa pinches the tip of her tongue with 2 fingers and brings her dagger to its root. Her eyes squeeze shut. Drops of blood form against the dagger's edge and quickly fall to the ground. She groans.
Stop! My father, may his soul rest in peace, would be disappointed in you. The fate of our realm hangs in the balance. Dallas?
Yes, Your Holiness?
I believe we're done here.
What a waste. Come, we'll be needed elsewhere.
The lizard magister, or what's left of her, lies in a puddle of gore.
She was a lizard, yet a magister. No matter her reasons, her penalty was fair.
She's gone, Father. Gone!
I told him at noon exactly. Didn't I?
Come on then, Legsy. Pay up.
I find only bread. I want no trouble.
Bread or a brisket, all's the same.
Your grift teaches you to bully others. Pathetic.
You keep his name out of your mouth, you filthy cunt.
Amidst a crowd of screws, bolts, and scraps of metal, the woman...
And what you after?
A grin cracks her...
Sure thing.
Disgusting like theft. Disgusting like threats.
Right. Take that on, Legsy. Just hand over the gold. I will not.
This is not your business, Long Pig.
Don't let this moss muncher talk to you like that. Especially a cheapskate like this one. Griff already knows she don't like to pay her fair share.
An intense-looking man steps between the thug and the elf and rolls up his sleeves, revealing well-muscled and heavily scarred arms.
Just stand aside, won't you, mate? This is...
Lone wolves decide their own business.
The thug freezes in fear for a moment before...
Pay up, elf. No one shorts Griff. Especially not one of you. Everyone in camp's got to contribute. For food.
Food, protection.
The intense-looking man stands beside you against the thugs, shooting you an appraising glance. Burrow looks you both up and down, sizing up your combined threat.
Ah, get out of here. The both of you.
The elf smiles and...
Follow me, before more of them trouble us. There is a safe place.
Bolted on there tight, ain't it?
A little reprieve from the din outside.
Whoever kills the other is the boss. You can't get me. You're too slow.
Thank you for your help with that, thug. Rare is the human who goes against their own for an elf.
She bows.
In this cave, we trust the healer. She is young, but she sees. I hear of no escapes. The only way... It gives me great pain. I'm with my family. Wait, before you go, I am not here without your help. I do not forget this. For you, a prize. Thank you.
I feel him, but I do not see him. You can't get me. Whoever kills the other